Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing today? Jabari, welcome. Jayana, welcome. Who else is here? All right, so just to give you guys some information while we are waiting for the others to join, you must be subscribed in order to um, provide an answer in the chat. Also, you may see some ads, all right? That's just part of the YouTube live where ads are placed strategically. So if you encounter an ad while you are viewing, just be patient and wait, then you just keep to the end of, or where we are, right? So just try to remain current. I'm saying this at the beginning so that whoever is listening in or who will be joining us late, you will understand that the ads will be there. Just be patient. There's some you may be able to skip, others you may not, but that's just part of the live stream situation. Okay. So who else is here? I see Dwayne, I see Janae, Hannah Shakespeare. Was that the name of the student? I'm not sure. I remember. You guys can't hear me? Hold on. Are you guys hearing me now? Are you guys hearing me now? Okay, because that way was saying. All right, so sorry about that. So let me restart what I was saying. So there may be some ads. I want you to be patient, right? Some of the ads you may be able to skip over, but okay, Gabby. But some of the ads you may have to just wait until it's ended and then just try to get to where we are. Okay, so there might have been a delay while the ad was playing. Just skip to the last part so that you guys are back on track. As I'm saying, with the ads, sometimes you can't avoid them. Sometimes you're able to skip after a few seconds, but just be patient and just know that's part of the live stream experience. Okay, don't get flustered. If you miss a question or two, that's fine. There are plenty more questions that you'll be able to participate in. And also, not all of you will see the ads at the same time. Okay, so that's another thing as well. All right, so we have Dejane, we have Janae, we have Gabby, we have Kyran, and we have Jabari. I saw Dwayne. Don't want to leave anybody out, you know. All right, and I hope we are all here to have a good time today, answer all the questions, and be on our best behavior. Okay. And there are some people I'm going to have to big you up. You know, you guys are here every week. Some people are here every single week. And I have to say that I commend you for that, for giving up an hour, 1 hour, sorry, that's the correct English, an hour to be here on live with me answering the questions, okay? Karen, how could you forget? Oh, Anna says she invited 32 people. All right, that's good. Hopefully they show up. All right. But yes, the more the merrier. All right. And as long as we all keep it nice and clean, then we will have a good time. But there are some people, like I said, they have been coming every week, and you are to be commended for that. You actively participate. All right. So we are ready to start. And my first question will be a science question. I'm not going to delay any further. The first question is a science question, and it's based on the topic that I would have taught my science students this week. So for those who don't know, I have classes during the week at 6 o'clock on weekdays, different subjects, and then on Saturdays I also have Saturday classes online. So these are all online classes that I have with some of the students. All right, so this is one of the topics based on this is one of the questions based on the topic we covered this week, which was the skin. So all those who are in that class, you better be able to answer these questions. All right, first question. What is the largest organ of the human body? What is the largest organ of the human body? All right, I see a lot. I see a lot. And let me see. Do I have all the people answering? Okay, so the correct answer is the skin. Your skin covers your entire body, you know. That's why it's the largest organ. It covers your entire body. And so it is the largest organ. And I did give you a hint, and I said the topic was the skin. So that should have given you a hint as to what the question or the correct answer should have been. So Jabari, the correct answer is the skin. That's the largest organ. All right, next, one more science question. One more science question. What pigment gives skin its color? What pigment gives skin its color? What pigment gives skin its color? Okay. All right. Melanin. So you guys have been learning about these things, man. That's awesome. Melanin. That's the correct answer. All right. So very good start so far. Those who didn't know, you're going to go and read up on the skin and learn all about the different parts. There will be more questions on the skin coming up, but we're going to change the subject for a second and go to something else. So our next subject is social studies. And again, these questions will basically come from the lesson that I taught this week as well, because I did tell the students, listen, you better be able to answer those questions, you know. So we'll see. All right, so here is your first social studies question. What is the line of latitude at 0 degrees called? What is the line of latitude at 0 degrees called? What is the line of latitude at 0 degrees called? In grade 5, well, you're just starting grade 5, maybe they have not gotten there yet as yet, but look forward to these lines of latitude because, of course, they help to understand and divide the Earth into the different zones, okay? So, yes, the equator, that is correct. All right. So again, you know, some of the things that you should be learning and you have not learned as yet, when you come to these sessions, you learn something so that when teacher is at that topic, then you'll be able to understand or at least answer, have some understanding of what's going on. All right. So let's now answer a follow-up to that question. So the equator, right? The equator, it divides the Earth into 2 hemispheres, right? What name the 2 hemispheres? So the equator divides the Earth into 2 hemispheres. You're going to tell me what those are. It divides it into 2 hemispheres. So some people are like, All right, so somebody's saying they're in grade 4. Yes, of course, some of these will be unfamiliar. Remember, this session is for students grades 4 to 6. So there are some things that may be related to the grade 6 syllabus or the grade 5, but there will be a mix of questions and some of them you will be able to answer. So it's the northern and southern hemisphere, okay? So the equator, this is the Earth. The equator is here. So, you know, up top, north, south. So it's like you cut an orange in half, then you have the northern and the southern hemisphere, okay? All right, so something for you guys to learn today, all right? Now let's go to mathematics. Jayana, is mathematics still your favorite? And Karen, that was very good. You answered those questions well. The others too, but it was very quick with answering the questions. All right, so let's go to mathematics. All right. Here's a math question. And you have to listen carefully to this one, and be able to understand the order of operations. All right. Question. Find the value of 6 times 7 plus 4. 6 times 7 plus 4. So that question, you all should be able to answer. Whether you're in grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, you all should be able to answer that question. Jabari, please stop guessing and make sure you're answering correctly. And stop that nonsense again, sir. All right, so 6 times 7 plus 4. All right, let me see who answered this question correctly first. That was Yashima. Like I said, I don't remember. Sometimes, guys, you have to forgive me. There's a lot of names here, so I might just call out the username that I see. It's not necessarily your name. You might be using your parents' account, but all right. So that was Yashima with the correct answer, 46. So we do 6 times 7, which is 42. Then we add 4 more. That's 46. All right. One more math question. One more, and you see, after we have answered and I've told you what the answer is, you want to make sure that you get ready for the next question. Some of you there are typing, and then by the time I ask the question, you guys are not quick enough because you were typing other things. So just make sure that you are ready to go for the next question. All right. Here's our next question. What is the LCM, which is the lowest common multiple? So what is the lowest common multiple or the LCM of 4 and 6? What's the lowest common multiple of 4 and 6? What's the lowest common multiple of 4 and 6? I said I was going to do this on TikTok as well today because I posted something over there. Let's see if I'm able to go live on TikTok at the same time. All right. So trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. All right, guys. So let's go to the next question. Those joining on TikTok, we are on YouTube answering some PEP questions. All right, here is the next question. Oh, I didn't tell you what the answer is for this one because I got distracted by the YouTube thing. The correct answer is 12. So that was Yashima. The correct answer is 12. So remember, what are the multiples of 6? What are the multiples of 4? So the multiples of 6 would be 6, 12, 18, 24, etc. The multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16. So the lowest common multiple would be 12. Okay, so if you look at your 12 times, sorry, your 6 times table and your 4 times table, you'll see that the lowest multiple is 12. All right, let's go to another question. This time we will go to language arts. All right, so we're going to go to language arts. Our first language arts question is, what is the plural of leaf? You know, those things on trees. What's the plural of leaf? That way you join me over on TikTok. That way you get back over here on YouTube. Oh, but it's okay. You stay over there. All right. That will get some traction over there as well. All right. So yes, the correct answer. Let me see who was first with that correct answer. All right. Let me see who was first with the correct answer. The correct answer, Karen. Karen was first with that one. Leaves. Okay, those who are joining on TikTok, we are doing some live PEP sessions, primarily on YouTube, but I just decided to click live on TikTok so that if you have students from grades 4 to 6, you can tell them to join us on YouTube, where we answer questions live every Sunday, 5:30 to 6:30. All right, and you can try as well to answer the questions if you please, because some of us adults also need to see if we know these things or we remember how to answer some of these questions. All right, so here's another language arts question. What is the prefix in the word unhappy? What's the prefix in the word unhappy? All right, what's the prefix in the word unhappy? All right, let me see who was first with this one again. Some people are very fast with their fingers, you know. Karen, you are first again. Perfect. All right, so awesome. The correct answer on. So a prefix, right? Those group of letters you usually see before root word. And so in this case, it was on. All right, that is correct. Let's go to another subject. We are now going to ability test. So let's see if I can find an ability test question to ask you. All right. Let's see. Here's an easy one, or it should be easy. Let's see. Which is heavier, 1 kilogram or 900 grams? Which is heavier, 1 kilogram? Karan and Jabari, remember what I said. You do not talk to anybody else in the chat except to answer my questions. We're not going to do this today, or else I'm going to remove both of you. All right, so again, just for those who might not have heard the question, which is heavier? Is it 1 kilogram or 900 grams? All right, those joining on TikTok, we are on YouTube live having this session, but I decided to click over here and invite those who have kids from grades 4 to 6. Takiba Academy is the YouTube channel. So you can, while you're scrolling on TikTok, you can have them go join us on YouTube. All right. The correct answer, 1 kilogram. That was the correct answer for that question. All right, let's see. One more ability test question. One more ability test question. Bird is to fly as fish is to what? Bird is to fly as fish is to. Okay. All right. That's correct. The answer is swim. All right. So most of you, listen, I think my questions are too easy, you know. Or is it that you guys are so brilliant? You guys are super smart. So you'll be able to answer all the questions. That's wonderful. Let's go back to science. Science. Here's another science question. All right. Now, I want you to name the 3 main layers of the skin. So you're going to name the 3 main layers of the skin. You guys can stay there, argue in the comment section and not try to answer this question that I'm asking. Name the 3 main layers of the skin. I said 3. Some persons have named 2. I need 3. And nobody needs to argue about who said it first, because the chat will be able, you can scroll back and see who was first. So nobody needs to be defending their points. The evidence is right there in the chat. So stop wasting time trying to say who said it first and get ready for the next question. All right, let me check now to see, because you see now I can go back to the chat and I can look to see who has the correct answer. So I need 3 layers. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. All right, I see one person. I see another person, but I don't know that person's name. Who is Diana Headlam? All right, that is correct. So Diana Headlam. So you have the epidermis, you have the dermis, and you have the hypodermis or the subcutaneous layer. Okay, so if you had that as well in your answer, then it is correct. So while the others were there arguing, Diana was there typing and typing the correct thing. Welcome to those joining on TikTok. As I said, you can subscribe to Takiba Academy on YouTube. That's where I'm at in this live session with my grade 4 to 6 students. All right, let's go to another science question. Another science question. And this is going to be perhaps the final one on the skin. All right, which sense does the skin help us with? Which sense? All right, so Diane is Aria. Okay, Aria. I might not remember that name, Aria, but if I call you Diana, then you know I'm talking about you. All right, which sense? All right, you know about the skin, man. Yes, the sense of touch. It helps us to feel things. Okay, so that's what the skin does. Let's go to another social studies question. Social studies. Social studies. What is the line of longitude at 0 degrees called? What's the line of longitude at 0 degrees called? I didn't say line of latitude, I said longitude. Okay? So, some people telling me equator. That's the line of latitude at 0 degrees. Right? That was this one. Now I want this one. The one that's at 0 degrees. What's that one called? All right, Kyla is saying feelings over here on TikTok. Hi, Kyla. All right, so somebody's trying to spell something. All right. So it's the prime meridian, okay? Right, that one. Okay, so those who got that one correct, awesome. Let's go to another math question. Guys, please share the live. And like I said, if you know anyone with kids from grades 4 to 6 who can join us on a Sunday on our YouTube channel, Takiba Academy, answer questions, PEP questions, then I would appreciate it. All right, listen to this question. Listen to this question. A shop sells pencils at $12 each. How much do 7 pencils cost? So a shop sells pencils at $12 each. How much do 7 pencils cost? So one pencil is for $12. How much for 7 pencils? One pencil for $12. How much is it for 7 pencils? All right. What? Hannah? Anna? All right, the correct answer is $84. Okay, so 7 times 12, that equals 84. So you need to have $84 to buy 7 pencils. All right, let's go to, how many math questions did I just ask? Was it 1 or 2? I'm trying to do 2 each time. So can somebody answer that question? How many? I only did 1. Okay, so this was the first one. All right, let's find another one. So now that you understand what LCM is, because I did give an explanation for LCM, I'm going to ask another LCM question, and hopefully more people will be able to get the answer correctly. Correct? So let's go. What is the LCM of 8 and 12? What's the LCM of 8 and 12? Remember, LCM means the lowest common multiple. So what is the LCM of 8 and 12? Remember, you're going to look at the multiples of 8, the multiples of 12, and see what's the lowest common multiple. All right, what's the LCM of 8 and 12? All right, let me see who was first with the correct answer. Karen, you were first. The answer is 24. So the multiples of 8, 8, 16, 24, etc. And the multiples of 12, 12, 24, 36. So the lowest common multiple is 24. All right, so those joining on TikTok, welcome. We are on YouTube, and I might say that a few more times. Please don't get annoyed with me, those who are on YouTube. Just letting those on TikTok know we are live on YouTube at Takiba Academy, grades 4 to 6, PEP question and answer session from 5:30 to 6:30. All right, language arts. Language arts. Let's see if I can find a language arts question for you. All right. Here's a sentence. I'm going to read a sentence, and you're going to tell me what the adverb is in the sentence, okay? So, this is the sentence. The car moved slowly. What's the adverb? The car moved slowly. What's the adverb? All right, so that means you have to learn about the different parts of speech, adverbs, nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositions, all of them. All right, so the adverb is, and who got this one correct first? Karen. All right, so Karen seems to be very quick with his fingers. The others are correct as well. So the correct answer, slowly. Very good. Slowly. All right, let's go to what subject we have not looked at yet. It's been a while since we looked at the ability test, so let me go over to that and ask a question from the ability test. And guys, remember to invite your friends to the YouTube live sessions, okay? And those on TikTok, welcome. We are over on YouTube having our live sessions. All right, so grades 4 to 6, if you have students in that grade at that grade level or those grade levels, then you can have them join us, or just about anybody who wants to make sure they're still understanding. And we will have one of those competitions where the adults will square up against the children and see who is smarter. All right, ability test. Listen to this one. Find the missing term. Okay, so I'm going to read off a series of numbers. You're going to find the missing term. So here is, somebody's friend is coming and somebody saying they can't join. All right, good. If they can't join this week, they join next week. We will be here. All right, so find the missing term. We have 7, 14, 28, blank, 112. Okay, so we have 7, 14, 28, blank, 112. What's the missing number? 7, 14, 28, blank, 112. All right, this one seems to be a little bit challenging for most of you. I wonder if anybody on TikTok have the answer for that one. I don't see anybody on TikTok putting in an answer. Guys, I'm looking at the screen too, over on TikTok, even though my eyes are, focused a lot on the YouTube, but I can see you as well. So let me ask the question again, because I don't see many of the students giving me the correct answer. So let's try again. 7, make sure you have your notebooks and your pencils. 7, 14, 28, blank, 112. That's the last number in the series. All right, so who wants to, let me see who was first. I think Janae was first with this one. So if you notice, guys, the terms, each number is being doubled, okay? So we had 7, it became 14, so we multiplied 7 by 2, then 14 times 2 is 28, so we have to double 28 as well, and that gives us 56. So the correct answer is 56. And when 56 is doubled, it becomes 112, okay? So the series, you are doubling the previous number, okay? So 7, 14, 28, each one was being doubled or being multiplied by 2. Okay, so that was the correct answer. Janae, you were first with that one. Very good. All right. Yashima, that was what? Who? Who was that again? Ara or something like that for Yashima. I don't remember the name of the student. All right, so let's go to the next one. Let's go back to a math question this time. Mathematics. Listen carefully. 0.4 times 0.3. 0.4 times or multiplied by 0.3. What's the answer? 0.4 times 0.3. Let me see who was first with this one. All right, I see the answers coming in. So Yashima said, never mind. Never mind what, Yashima? Your answer was correct. All right, so the answer is 0.12, okay? So 0.4 and 0.3, there were two numbers, right, behind decimal. So when you would have multiplied the 4 times 3, then you would have to also include 2 decimal places in your answer. All right, so the correct answer is 0.12. You said 1 point. Let me go back and check to see what you had. All right, at least you're being honest. Oh, yes. No, you said 0.12 first and you changed it. Oh, so that was your error then. You changed it. But your first answer was 0.12. All right, so let's do another math question, another decimal. So 2.5 times 4. That's your next math question. 2.5 times 4. 2.5 times 4. 2.5 times 4. All right. So most people seem to have the correct answer. The correct answer is 10. So 2.5 times 4, the correct answer is 10. So those who are not sure how to multiply decimals, that's something that you're going to have to look at, okay? All right, let's go to language arts. Language arts. Let's see if I can find a language arts question. All right, so here's a question, another part of speech question. So you're going to identify the adjective in this sentence. The bright moon lit the night. The bright moon, Karen, the answer was 10. Okay? 10.0 is still the same as 10. So, the bright moon lit the night. Okay, and you all seem to be very bright students today, right? You're lighting up my chat room with the correct answer. So who was first this time? I think that was Hannah or whoever is using that account. All right, so the correct answer, right? And most of you seem to have that correct, if not all. That was the correct answer. All right. Let's see if I can find one more language arts question. Oh, we did this one the last time. I'm going to give you another. Give me an example of a compound word. Oh, so Nikki, all right. So if I don't know if you were here at the beginning when I said that their ads might be popping up, but just try to get to as soon as the ad ends or you skip the ad, then just try to get to the end of the or try to get to where we are, the most current place on the live. Okay, there will be ads that pop up from time to time. Welcome, guys. Thank you for the follow. We are here on YouTube having our live PEP session. The students are answering questions, but I decided to pop up over on TikTok as well, so that if you have students in grades 4 to 6, you can invite them to join us on a Sunday for 5:30 to 6:30. Takiba Academy is the name of the YouTube channel. All right, so let me see. I did ask about compound words and I asked for examples. So let me see who was first with a compound word. Let's see. Let's see. Compound word. All right, so Yashima was first. She said pineapple. Okay, so a compound word, two words joined together to form a new word. So she had pine and apple combined, they give us the word pineapple. All right, so let's go to, did we have any science question? No more skin question, no. Let me see if I can find another question that's not a skin question. All right, who can answer this science question? Name Nikela. Oh, Nikela. Okay. All right, so name the 3 states of matter. All right, and all the other answers were correct as well. Well, most of them, remember, they would have been joined together, not separate, okay? Separate, they're 2 separate words. A compound word, they have to be together. All right, so the 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, gas. Awesome. All right, that is correct. Let's see if we can answer one more science question. Let me see. One more science question. All right, so which muscle helps with breathing? Which muscle helps with breathing? That's the next science question. Which muscle helps with breathing? All right, so I'm not sure we would consider the lungs a muscle. So I'm still not seeing the correct answer. Muscle. All right. So the correct answer, all right. Somebody came up with the correct answer down here. So let's see if anybody else can answer it. I see somebody with the correct answer, just waiting to see if at least somebody else will show up with the correct answer. So I see the answer again. Somebody else joined. They don't want to call the names because I want you guys to try as well. But at least 2 people have the correct answer so far on my screen. All right, so some more people coming in with the correct answer now. The correct answer is the diaphragm. Okay, that's the muscle that's directly below the lungs area. Okay, so that's where the diaphragm is. All right, so that's the muscle there. All right, let's go back to social studies. Social studies. Social studies. What is the capital of the Bahamas? All right, so you learned something new today. So make a note of that, okay? So that you stick a note or put it somewhere so at least you have that information once you get to that. What's the capital of the Bahamas? What's the capital? So you see some of these questions, don't think that is all about questions and answers for things that you already know. This is also going to be a learning experience for some of you. You learn something new in this session. So you will not necessarily know all the answers. So you learn something new as well. All right, somebody was trying, but they spelled it incorrectly, but I think I know what they were trying to say. But again, sometimes you have to make sure that the spelling is. I know how it goes when we are typing. Things happen, the fingers sometimes go in other places. So yes, the correct answer is Nassau. All right, so the capital of the Bahamas is Nassau. All right, one more social studies question. And I asked this one already. So you see, I'll see if you guys are learning. So even if it's something that we did say a week or 2 ago, I'll still repeat the question and then let's see if you were actually learning something. Okay, so let's go to what is long-term weather called? What's long-term weather called? I asked that question before. Not sure if it was last week or the week before, but I did ask that question before. So let's see. What's long-term weather called? Anybody else with an answer? Oh, Nikela, you're on an ad? Sorry about that. Those will pop up from time to time. All right, those joining on TikTok, we are on YouTube answering some PEP questions. So if you have kids or friends with kids in grades 4 to 6, you can tell them about our sessions every Sunday on YouTube. Takiba Academy is the channel from 5:30 to 6:30. All right, so the correct answer is climate. All right, so guys, what you're going to do, you're going to give me your feedback on the ads as well, and I'll see if they can be adjusted somewhat, if they are too much of a bother, or you can figure your way around them. So let me know how that is as well, okay? So, and I'm still thinking about the session on a Saturday. I have to think about it. Perhaps not for the rest of this year because we're almost at the end of the year, but maybe for January, I'll consider having a session on Saturdays as well. Okay. All right. So the correct answer was climate. I'm going to another question. What's the highest mountain in Jamaica? And that should be a very easy question. You know? Everybody should get this one right. And I don't even see a correct answer yet in the chat. What's the highest mountain in Jamaica? Oh, I thought I was in a different country. What's the highest? Okay. Blue Mountain. All right. So those who are joining me on TikTok, thank you for your time. My battery is about to die on my phone. So we'll do this next Sunday, hopefully. Well, until then, I'm going to be on YouTube where I finish up until 6:30. So you can join us on YouTube if you wish, or like I said, you can share this information with students in grades 4 to 6. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. All right, so that was TikTok. Let me focus now on YouTube. Let's see. The correct answer, Blue Mountain. Very good. All right, let's see. Which subject? All right, tell me, you guys now tell me. Let me hear which subject you want questions for. We're wrapping up in about 10 minutes, so let me hear which subject here. So whoever's first, I'll ask that question. All right, she said language. So language is first. So let's answer a language question. And then after we answer that one, I'll ask the question again. And then based on who answers that one first, then I'll decide what the next subject. So somebody wants a language arts question. All right, so here's a language arts question. Here's a language arts question. What part of speech describes a noun? 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 The correct answer is an adjective. Correct answer is an adjective. Adjectives, remember, describing words, they describe nouns. All right. So, I'm sorry about that, Jabari. Just a part of life, okay? So, I'm sure it's bothering the others as well. I asked what part of speech describes a noun. All right. So, what other subject area? Where are we going next? What other subject area? All right, Jabari, that's correct. All right, so Hannah says math. So they want math. Anna, which grade are you in from maths? Which grade are you in? Hannah Shakespeare. Remember, I don't remember the grade 6. All right, let me still try to ask a question that anybody could answer. All right, all right. Don't want to make it too difficult, you know. What is the value of the digit 9? Listen carefully. What is the value of the digit 9 in the number 6,492? What's the value of the digit 9 in the number 6,492? What's the value? What's the value? Or I should probably have said the true value. What's the value of the digit 9 in the number 6,492? All right, so again, because I wasn't really specific, I see some people saying tens. So that would have been the place value, right? So maybe I wasn't specific enough. So the correct answer, though, I was referring to the true value, right? And that is 90. All right, so maybe I should have asked the question a little bit clearer. All right, so the correct answer is 90. So tens, yes, it's in the tens column, right? So yes, it's in the 10th place. That's the place value. But the correct answer is 90. All right. I'm going to ask a question now, so you don't preempt me, sir. What subject is next? Karen, what you said don't count because you should have waited until I asked the question. You have to type it again if you want me to give that one. So, social studies is next. Social studies. All right, so the lines of longitude run in which direction? The lines of longitude run in which direction? And then I'm going to ask a question about Jamaica afterwards. The lines of longitude run in which direction? All right, so I see some people saying top to bottom, north to south, vertical. All right, so all those are correct, right? So the lines of longitude, these ones, the vertical lines, okay? And they do run from north to south. That's how they run. They're measured this way, but they run from north to south. That's how they run. All right, so somebody wanted a question about Jamaica. Jamaica. Here's an easy question. Easy Jamaican question. Easy Jamaican question. What's the capital of St. Catherine? What's the capital of St. Catherine? Easy question. Capital of St. Catherine. All right, the correct answer is Spanish Town. Good. I'm going to go very quickly now because we're almost out of time. So I'm going to try to get in as many questions as possible so you guys can go back and watch the video and learn something. Another capital. What's the capital of Manchester? What's the capital of Manchester? So the capital of St. Catherine was Spanish Town. What's the capital of Manchester? All right, that's correct, Mandeville. One more capital question. What's the capital of St. Elizabeth? What's the capital of St. Elizabeth? Is that David? I haven't seen you in a while. What's the capital of? Okay. All right. Yes, that is Black River. So enough social studies question now. What's the next subject? So Black River is correct. That's the capital of St. Elizabeth. Next subject. Science. So Hannah said science. Is only Anna giving the request? What happened? All right. So after science, I'll do the ability test. So science question. Let's see if I can find a science question. Let me see if I can find a science question. Let's see you, Jabari. All right. Let's see. Science. Where does most digestion occur? Where does most digestion occur? Where does most digestion occur? Moose? That's not correct. I see some answers, but that's not correct. The small intestine. That's where most of the digestion takes place, in the small intestine. Hannah. That's correct. Small intestine. All right. Somebody wants ability test. So let me go to an ability test question now. Somebody's asking for one of those. So let's see. Let me see if I can find a good one. Of these, I'm going to list some shapes and you're going to tell me which one has the most sides, okay? So this ability test, you're going to tell me which shape has the most sides. I'm going to list 3 and you're going to tell me which one, okay? So hexagon, pentagon, octagon. Which one has the most sides? Hexagon, pentagon, octagon. Which one has the most sides? Which one has the most sides? All right, Jabari, you were first with that one. The correct answer is octagon. How many sides? Answer that question quick. Oh, somebody answered there. Yashima is there helping me out with the teaching, you know. Yashima, are you a teacher? All right, yes, the octagon has 8 sides. All right, let's see if I can find another ability question. We're almost at the end of today's session. If you divide a pizza into 8 equal slices and you eat 3. You know, guys, I'm not joking with you guys in the chat. If you divide a pizza into 8 equal slices and you eat 3 of those slices, what fraction remains? What fraction? All right, so let me see who was first. You see what you guys were there scribbling about who is not no longer in first. Let me see who answered the question correctly. Yashima, 5/8. Okay, so if you divide it into 8 and you eat 3, then 5/8. That's a fraction. Not 5 is not a fraction. Okay, so you have to remember to answer based on the question. It says what fraction. They didn't say how many parts or how many were left. What fraction? So the answer has to be in fraction form. All right, what's another subject area? One more. Let me see what subject area. All right, Anna, hold on. Anna, you are always the one to answer first, you know. Why is that so? You're the one paying the most attention to what I'm saying. Is that it? Let's see. Science. See if I can find a science question. You see, sometimes that's the thing when they're paying attention to other things in the chat. Then, all right. What is the boiling point of water? That's science. What's the boiling point of water in degrees Celsius? Boiling point of water, you should know that, Jabari. Boiling point of water in degrees Celsius. All right, the correct answer is 100, right? 100 degrees Celsius. All right, one more question and then that's it for today. The final question. Let me see who's going to tell me which question, what question it is first. All right, Anna again, but she said math. So we're going to end today with a math question. Should I make it easy or hard? What should I do? Tell me. Should I make it easy or hard? The math question. All right, I'm going to ask one easy question and one hard question, okay? Who's ready for the easy question? One easy question, So it's just whoever is quick on the ball. So you see they're typing, you might just miss it. So here's the question. 2 plus 2. Too easy, huh? Too easy. All right. So let me see who was first with that easy one. Yashima was first with that easy one. All right. So here's the hard one. Here's the hard one. Here's the hard one. This one now called for some grade 6 level skills. Listen carefully to this one. 5 squared minus 3 times 4. Let me read it one more time. 5 squared minus 3 times 12. That was quick. I thought it was going to be hard. That was super quick, Karen and Ariel and Yashima and David and Xavier. Yes, the correct answer is 13. So 5 squared is 25, okay? But then you say minus 3. I'm going to do the minus 3. You're going to do the multiplication first. So 3 minus 3 times 4 is 12. So 25 minus 12 equals 13. Oh, you say it was easy? All right, let me find a hard one. One hard one and then we're finished. One hard one and then we're finished. All right, not so hard, but you still probably would have to think. 2/3 plus 1/6. So 2/3 plus 1/6. 2/3 plus 1/6. 2/3, that's 2/3, plus 1/6. In case you did not hear me correctly. Who's saying 3/7 easy? Who's saying that? Really? Let me see who got this one correct. 5/6. 5/6. Okay, so 2/3. Remember, you find the equivalent fraction for that so that the denominators are the same. So that would have been 4/6. So 4/6 plus 1/6 The answer is 5/6. Okay, 5/6. The question was 2/3 plus 1/6. All right, guys, that's the end of the session today. Please, please, please remind your friends to join us. Send them the link to the YouTube and let them see what you guys are doing over here and have them join us. Okay, so you can let them. Somebody said one more. Karen wants one more. One more what question, Karen? Which question you want? Karen, which question do you want? You said one more. One more what? Math question? No, that's Hannah answering. I'm asking Karen. Karen? Where is he? Jabari? Where's Karen? He left? Oh, I guess he's not here anymore. All right, so that's, oh, ability. All right, so Karen said ability. Where were you, sir? I almost left. So one last one for Karen. He said he wants an ability test question. And the next time I'm going to take some from the actual past papers. This one I just did some random questions, but some of those past paper questions, I'm going to take them from some of those and then see how you guys do with those. So let me see if I can find the ability test quickly. And then I have one last question and then we are going to be out of there. Let me see if I can find one. If it is raining, then the ground is likely to be what? If it's raining, the ground is likely to be what? If it's raining, the ground is likely to be what? Only one person answer. So where's Karen who asked me to? If it is, I didn't say if it was. I say if it is raining, the ground is likely to be, well, it depends on the type of ground or not. I'll go with a mud, but it would most likely be wet. Okay, so if it's raining, then it's going to be wet. Suppose it's concrete. It's not necessarily going to be muddy, right? And maybe depends on the type of soil. So, wet. All right. That's it, guys. I'll see you next week. Remember to have your friends join us. And let's continue to behave. We didn't behave too badly today, although for a minute there, some of you decided to. But you guys were okay for the most part today. All right. So, bye. See y'all next week. Bye-bye.